G'day shark lovers, I'm in beautiful Port Douglas out here at the marina. I'm just about to call in on someone you might like to meet.
And it's very hard to tell. Melanoma.
Hello, Ben!
Oh, hey Nick.
Ben!
How are you? Welcome aboard. Watch out for the savage dog.
Savage dog. What a beautiful day here in Port Douglas.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Here we are in beautiful Port Douglas with Ben Cropp. Ben, thanks very much for spending some time with us today. Now, you go back a very long way on the water.
Over 60 years.
Over 60 years, it's amazing, isn't it?
1950, yeah.
Unbelievable.
That I first started.
Yeah. Now, Ben, I believe that you grew up, or you were born on a little island called Booker Island off Bougainville.
Yes, I didn't learn diving there. I was only 3 when I left, but I came back to Ballina and I was watching these native divers off a mission boat from up north there, and they had the goggles and a primitive spear, and I went, oh wow, that's a good way to catch fish. So I went home and made my own equipment. I made the mask was made out of a pane of glass and the inner tube of a motorbike, and it was all very simple. No flippers. I don't think they'd been invented by then. A primitive gun, and I went out and started spearing fish. That was 1950.
Now, I believe, Ben, that, like you said, you spent quite a bit of time as a spear fisherman and were quite successful and well known in those circles. I understand that there was a certain moment and a fairly, almost an epiphany, if I understand it right, that kind of changed your focus from being a spear fisherman to a marine conservationist, if you like.
Well, I was a shark hunter, and we made films, one called Shark Hunters, another called Shark Safari, another one called Shark, all on shark hunting. And then in '64, myself and George Meyer were down at Montague. We ran into this, or we were looking for this monstrous whale shark. Now, no one had really filmed a whale shark before, and here we were riding on its back, and we worked out it was 36 feet long. Yeah, just an absolute monster, very tame, and the footage and photos just went absolutely worldwide. I mean, front page worldwide, and that just changed my attitude. I thought, you know what, forget about killing sharks. Going out and photographing them is great big news, and that was really that turning point when I gave up shark hunting and became a conservationist.
Yeah, unbelievable. Ben, in your time in the water, you would have seen a lot of sharks. What's your mindset then and now when you're in the water with a shark? What's your mindset when you see? How would you describe it?
Well, there are less sharks now, I know that, and especially in the big ones, less tigers, because I do a lot of filming on tigers, and when one time I was out of Bat Reef and I counted 16 tigers in 2 days, maybe a couple doubled up, but 16, and stupid me, I gave it to the press because actually one of them attacked me and ripped my dinghy apart, and that was big news. But I happened to mention this, and local boats straight out after them for their fins. And it was a big mistake, and now I go out and I really have a job getting a tiger up to the back of the boat. So those things happen, but generally, generally around the reef where there's not all that much fishing, the shark population seems to be about steady. But apparently when you go out wider, yes, it's a lot less. So
you've definitely seen a decline in some areas off the far north Queensland coast.
Oh yes, well places like Bat Reef where I always went for sharks, we only see a few sharks now. We last time we were out we never saw a tawny, and to me that's so unusual. I'd normally have 3 or 4 tawnies at the back of the boat straight away, and we are seeing a sharp decline. Tawnies, especially tigers. And because, I mean, each shark is worth like $1,000 in fins, so they go after them.
It's really unfortunate, and as you've mentioned, Ben, in regards to the shark finning industry, you know, the numbers are elastic. They're hard to put your finger on, but we estimate that up to 73 million sharks are killed every year for their fins. Up to 100 million sharks are killed every year generally, and that includes the shark finning industry, as well as bycatch with the long lines, the tuna industry with their purse seine nets and fish aggregation devices. From a sustainability point of view, what do you see with those numbers and those shark populations?
Well, because the shark is the top of the food chain, it's got to have a big effect all the way down. You take out humans. Imagine how the world would change. We're top of the food chain, and the shark in the ocean has that place. And I mean, I'm totally against it. It's abhorrent, what they do, cutting the fins off and throwing the carcass back over, and the poor shark is trying to swim and has no fins. It's horrible and it's cruel. And the Australian government can cut that out very easy, very easy. All they've got to do is first ban shark fin soup, which I don't think you and I will miss very much, will we?
No, absolutely not.
Most people, 99.9% of Australians won't miss it. And ban the export and import of shark fins. Now that will cut it down 90%. You're still going to get the black market, but they'll have to go sort of back room of the restaurant or something to have it. But it'll become non-profitable for the people to go out, and there's no exceptions for the people who are getting sharks now. They can't sell the fins. And look, it's so simple. And there are states over in America that have done it already. There are big hotel chains in Asia that have done it already, banned shark fin soup. And we in Australia should set a good example to the rest of the world, do that, and then all those other countries perhaps will follow.
Absolutely.
And it's so simple to do.
Yep. Absolutely. And as you said there before, Ben, you're exactly right. There's certain states in America who have made it a criminal offence to possess, trade and sell shark fins, the likes of Washington, California, most recently with the passing of AB 376, the legislation that effectively makes it a criminal offence to do those things that I mentioned. That was passed on the 1st of January 2012. Just one interesting aspect of that I'd be keen to get your thoughts on. There's a small but vocal group who are starting to get together to try and have that AB 376 repealed in California, because they're saying it's an affront or it's an attack on Chinese culture. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, I guess I have the same thoughts as Japanese killing whales and killing dolphins. To hell with the culture. We're in a modern world now. We have a different attitude, and that might be an old culture. And the same with dugong and turtle. We are in a modern world, and we abhor that sort of thing now. And I don't think culture should come in. And this, I think this has gone way beyond culture. It's money. That's really what it is. It's export money as well, which fisheries would not like to give up. And I think we've really got to throw that aside. And who would care in Australia? Not many people.
No.
If we banned it.
That's right. One other thing that we see as a threat to our sharks here in both Queensland and New South Wales, Ben, is the shark control program in Queensland and the similar program in New South Wales. It's called the shark meshing program, and I'm sure you understand it, but just for our viewers, the shark meshing program in New South Wales consists of nets that are set off the beaches, and they run up almost the entire coast of New South Wales. In Queensland, it's a similar system with the addition of baited drum lines that run from Coolangatta in the south to Cairns in the far north. Now, these things kill not only thousands of sharks, including the protected species like the great white and grey nurse, but other marine life. What are your thoughts on these programs?
Okay, back in the early 60s when they first started shark meshing, I was there filming, and I agreed with it. I thought, wow, this is really killing the sharks. And of course they caught a lot of sharks at first. But since then I've changed my views, totally the opposite. I'm against shark meshing, again because it kills off so many of the endangered species. And also, it has never been proved that meshing saves lives. Believe me, it has never been proved. it's the law of averages says that there's eventually going to be a shark attack on a mesh beach because they're rare shark attacks. And finally, we're starting to get them on the mesh beaches. They do not save lives, but the trouble is, the big trouble we have for stopping it is it's ingrained in people psychologically that if the beach is meshed, it's safe to swim. It's no more safer than if they took the net away, but people believe that. And you will never get a politician to stick his neck out and say, let's ban it, because, again, the law of averages, there'll be a shark attack there just after, and he'll be ostracised. And he's not going to risk his position, or anyone, to do it. So it's going to be very hard, very, very hard, unless you can get the public behind. Somehow convince the public that those nets out there are not protecting them. They're just killing sharks and other animals. And the drum lines are actually attracting sharks in. That's the stupidity of it. I've seen sharks come into the net and swim around the net. To swim around the other side to get at food in the net. Take that food and go away. They can avoid the net. So, and to put a drum with bait, all you're doing is attracting a shark from a long way away, close inshore. It's stupid.
And as you said, Ben, with them being attracted to the drum lines with the bait, with a lot of your work with sharks and filming sharks, am I right in saying that you're pretty much doing the same thing? You're taking a food source down there so you can bring them in to film? It's the same sort of concept.
The only way you can film sharks is to take a food source down to chum and bring them in close to you. They're not going to otherwise come to you. They might pass by, but they're not going to stay. And that's the only way that myself, Ron Taylor, all of us get shark footage. We have to chum. And putting a bait line out there, a buoy with a bait on the end, is attracting a shark, which is what we don't want to do. We don't want the shark to think, oh, if I swim in there, there's a feed. And it's wrong.
Exactly right. Ben, really appreciative of your time today. It's been fantastic to catch up with you and have a chat.
Good.
Thanks very much, Ben.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.